The back end is going to be the stronger place to run an ad. It's going to be the stronger place to choose your targeting, and pretty much the only way to saturate your market with a paid ad strategy. Welcome back to The Marketing Solution. My name is Shelby Paige. I am your host, and today we are going to be talking about the difference between a front-end boost and a back-end boost, otherwise known as the difference between launching a good ad and a bad ad. Let me explain. So when you are boosting a post, think of when you have a business profile, right? And you are scrolling and you see your own post and it says, boost this post. Bada bing, bada boom. That's a front end boost. That means that you're not in the back end of Business Manager, you're not in the back end of Ads Manager, and you are limited for the options that you have to actually boost the post. The way that Facebook and Instagram work is that business profiles have a slightly less organic reach than a personal profile. What that means is if you have a personal profile, if you're just a person, then the people that are going to organically see your post is about 1% of your followers. You have 1,000 followers, 100 people are gonna see it. You get to see the people, according to the algorithm, that are the most engaged with you, and that's the way that the social network works. But if you are a business profile, if the reason that you are on there is for business, the algorithm kind of punishes you for that, which means that you get seen by 0.1% of people organically. So when they offer you that front end boost, all they're doing is saying, hey, you have limited targeting options, but if you throw $5 into the wishing well, we will show your content instead of to 0.1% of your following. We'll show it to 1% of your following. Maybe we'll show it to a couple of people that are friends of friends or people that are in the same location as where your post was posted. So if you're doing a front end boost, yeah, you'll get some pretty good engagement. You'll get a pretty good click-through rate, but these people are already familiar with you. You're boosting the post to people on the front end that already know you kind of exist, which is, for all intents and purposes, not really what you're looking for if you're trying to boost a post. If you're trying to boost a post, the KPI is probably to get in front of new people, to get in front of people who have never heard of you before, which means that the front end boost is going to be the wrong way to launch an ad. Specifically because of those limited targeting options. If you go into the back end, if you go into Ads Manager and you launch a campaign for brand awareness with a specific budget, with a targeting option that is completely up to you, you can actually reach brand new accounts and you can actually launch an ad that's going to be successful in exposing your brand to brand new people. I know that sounds a little confusing, but the difference is like monumental. If you are doing a front-end boost, all you're really doing is saying, hey, for $5, please show my content to just as many people as if I was a personal brand. But if you are putting money behind Ads Manager, Facebook, Instagram, Meta is saying that you are worth actually targeting. You are worth like actually running an ad and actually putting them in the campaign marketplace, actually bidding against other people for brand new people's attention. That is what you want. You want to be exposed to new people. You don't want to be exposed to your same audience. You want to saturate your market. So if you're going to do a boost, you're not going to want to do it on the front end. When you see that little button that says boost this post, completely ignore it. Yeah, a business profile gives you insights into how many people were reached, how they found you, things like that. Those are very important insights to have on the front end. But the back end is going to be the stronger place to run an ad. It's going to be the stronger place to choose your targeting, and pretty much the only way to saturate your market with a paid ad strategy. If you're doing that front end boost, you're throwing money in the wishing well. And like I said, it's going to be a lot of your engaged audience. They're going to want to see your post, but you're not actually doing anything except paying the algorithm to get in front of more people. And you're depending way too much on an algorithm that does not have your best interest in mind. So when it comes to front end versus back end boosting, aka running an ad incorrectly versus running an ad correctly, you're gonna wanna take the time to go through business settings, set up your payment methods, go through the Ads Manager, and actually launch an ad that is under your control. And of course, for it to be under your control, you have to know how to control it. You have to know how to steer the ship. So tune in next week where I talk about the different ways to look at data and the different ways to optimize, including like the relationship between that data and how to set a standard KPI. Thanks for joining us on The Marketing Solution, and we're out. Boom.